Imagine that you have just left a war. You have seen people die. You have seen homes walk past every day, bombed and destroyed. Every day you have been afraid for your family and the safety of your children. You have stayed in, stopped working, stopped going to school. Maybe your father was being tortured, or maybe it was you. You forget things because of it. Can't lift your arms from the scars. Imagine now that the country that was your country enemy has accepted you and a part of your family as a refugee. Imagine that you speak none of the language that is spoken in your refugee country. What money do you have with you? You spend it all, get away from war. How are you going to provide for your family? What if your mother falls ill in your country or here in the new country you are in? There's no one can trust to keep your deepest secret. When the doctor stops trying, how do you get a loved one back to her friends and family before she dies? Our Iraqi refugees don't need to imagine any of this. It is the reality. Imagine their situation and then ask, is there one place where they can go and get help? And the answer, other Iraqis who have been in the United States longer and who form the Iraqi community in Utah. The Iraqi community is not perfect, but it is all that Iraqi refugees have. Today, I want to tell you how Iraqis are succeeding in serving in one another's needs, how they are getting educated, and how they have tried to blend in. I also will briefly talk about reasons for their difficulties in organizing. My name is Samira, and I am an Iraqi-American engineer who is humble and proud to talk on behalf of my country, women and men. I moved to Utah in 2008 after living in America for 30 years. And this is the first time I see many Iraqis refugees here in Utah. I have done many kinds of volunteering in my life, but when I saw the first Iraqi refugee, I was so happy, sad, and worried. Happy because I didn't go to Iraq for 30 years, and now I see my Iraqi citizens around me. Worried because I must help them as much as I can. Sad and guilty because I never shared their horrors of the war. I want to tell you a story about a lady. I was her interpreter for 2 years. And she asked me, why are you doing all this work for me and others? And before us, you helped American as a volunteer. What do you get from all this? Nothing. I told her that in America, there are a lot of people that volunteer because it makes them feel good. And that's what I feel. I told her that when I help you, you pay me with a beautiful smile and thoughtful prayer. She told me, I'd love to be like you one day. Was she true to her word? Is she using my example and serving the community? This woman went through many surgeries. She is a cancer survivor. And I don't want to say more. And guess what? She learned how to drive. With her pain and her many problems, she continues volunteer for the new arrival. She is supported in any way you could think about. Babysitting, cooking for the sick people, taking patients giving them a ride to the hospital. Now her whole family serves unconditionally and lovingly in the Iraqi community. She is one of the many women that's helping the Iraqi community this way. Pay it forward. Others in the community serve as a different kind of example. Have you ever tried to transfer credits between universities? Do you know how few credits are applied to your new school? Now imagine the credit transfer between Iraq and America. Impossible. It would be easy to give up. Frustrating and overqualified, right? Not for Iraqis. We are very proud of our education. Instead of frustration, the lack of a credit transfer is seen as an opportunity to reinforce our attention on what we might have missed in the first time around. As an example, there is a gentleman. This gentleman I'm going to talk about, I didn't know he's going to be here today, so I have to say good things about him, I guess. As an example, there is a gentleman that had his bachelor's degree, but was not granted the same status in America. He quickly completed his undergraduate work and is completing an advanced degree in very challenging profession. For the littlest kindness, the Iraqi refugee returned a far large gift. In return for a Christmas gift for a sick girl, the family invited all Iraqi around their apartment for dinner and conversation. Even though their ESL driver license teacher doesn't speak Arabic, this student make him feel like family. Iraqi men shake your hand and put their hand on their heart. Women kiss on the cheek. The Iraqi in Utah believe in family and treating others fairly, and they prove it every day. Issues that challenge the Iraqi service community are, first, we must communicate through all levels of the organization in order to ensure the best service of our client. We must have board meeting minutes published and our events on the web. The second challenge, in a small organization, everyone has many tasks to do. A title does not give a social standing. Instead, the action proves the most about a person. It is hard to explain the difference between a service organization and a social organization to someone who has only seen a social club. Third challenge is the unequal treatment of women. Women are cornerstone of society. Their dreams are dreams of society, peace, and family and friendship. As Jeff Brown says, if you want to support refugee organizations, support women. My new organization, Women of the World, will empower women in new heights in their own business, academic, and in service. But with all these challenges, hope survives. Hope comes in small packages. People trust you when you are there for them, when you do what you say. People trust your action, not your words. I think that by being positive and consistent, many Iraqis have opened their heart to their Utah neighbors and their Iraqi community service organization. My mom used to tell a story of the yogurt man that would carry 5 to 10 trays of yogurt on their heads. This lesson is humility and concentration, starting on what you can safely balance and focusing on taking one step at a time until you reach your destination. In the delicate act of balancing culture and progress, the Iraqis in Utah must be open to helping others and learning about their new neighbors, but with diligence so their culture is preserved. This will ensure that dessert will deliver sweet. Thank you.